Okay, great. Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for joining us for our Career Connections webinar. My name is Brent Giangregorio, and I'll be your host today. We're very excited to partner with Manatee Technical College, Walgreens, and CareerSource for today's webinar on the Pharmacy Technician program at MTC. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Today's session is being recorded. Will be available on our YouTube channel within 48 hours. As well, we're going to go ahead and send a link to the recording along with the presentations you're going to see today to everyone who registered for today's session. Because this is a webinar, as I mentioned, you will only see the panelists. You will not see yourself or other participants. As well, all of the lines are muted. But we do really want to hear from you. So you can ask questions using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. As we move through the presentation, feel free to type your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll leave about 10 minutes at the end of the session for questions. Okay, so we have a great lineup of speakers today. First, we're going to hear from Dr. Susan M., a pharmacy technician instructor at MTC, about the pharmacy technician program. Then we're going to hear from Amy Gates, a career counselor at MTC, a little bit about kind of the admissions and application process if you're interested in the pharmacy technician program. Followed by Ginger Swanson, grant coordinator at CareerSource Suncoast, is going to talk about scholarship opportunities through CareerSource. And then we're going to hear from Chris Mosher, store manager and area recruitment lead at Walgreens, as well as Leah Rekas, district manager at Walgreens, regarding sort of job opportunities as a pharmacy technician, specifically within Walgreens, career paths and kind of what's next after you are a certified pharmacy technician. And then lastly, we're going to hear from Tarryn Lund, as she is a certified pharmacy technician working at Comfort IV Therapy, and a graduate of MTC's pharmacy technician program. So we're going to hear from her on her experience through the program. And then, as I mentioned, after the presentations, we'll go to Q&A. And after the Q&A, if everyone could just stay on for 1 extra minute for a survey that will pop up on your screen, we would really appreciate it. Your feedback is really important as we use these surveys to help with future programming and webinars. Before I turn it over to the presenters, I want to take a few minutes just to tell you about the Women's Resource Center. So the Women's Resource Center has been empowering women in Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1979. Whoops, my bad. We have 3 locations across both counties, one in Bradenton, one in Sarasota, and another in Venice. And we serve over 1,700 clients a year and deliver over 5,000 hours of programming. Really, our goal at the Women's Resource Center is to engage, educate, and enrich and empower women of all generations. We really think of ourselves as a place where any women can give us a call when they're not sure where to turn to for help. To do this, we offer our clients resource advising, mental health counseling, career services. We have educational workshops and programs, as well as scholarships, legal and financial programs, as well as wellness programs. All of this is offered at a low or no cost to our clients. Since this webinar is about careers, I'll talk a little bit more about our career services. So our career coaching program offers individual assistance in preparing for a successful job search. So that can include career discovery, skills assessment, resume preparation, interviewing skills, networking techniques, and much more. Additionally, we have a career center at each of our locations where clients can come in and conduct online job searches, work on applications, work on their resumes. As well, they can receive one-on-one computer tutoring with help navigating online job sites. Again, resume help, computer tutoring basics, Microsoft Office applications. And then additionally, we have 2 career closets, one in Bradenton and one in Sarasota, where we offer free clothing and accessories for women who are attending job interviews or have just secured a job and need work attire. I should note we also serve clients that may need clothing for any reason. And currently our career closets are open Monday through Thursday from 11 to 3. Okay, as I mentioned before, if you'd like to ask a question, we really do want to hear from you, so click on the box labeled Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and just remember we'll get to those questions at the end of the webinar. And again, another reminder, this session is being recorded, and we will send out the replay in case you missed any information, and the replay will be sent via email in 24 to 48 hours. And then lastly, just another plug here for our survey. As I mentioned, when we end the webinar, a survey is going to pop up on your screen. We would love for your feedback. And thank you so much for attending today. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Susan M. Oh, Susan, looks like you're muted.
Okay.
Perfect.
Got it. So hello, everybody. Let me get my slides up here. Okay, can everybody see this picture? Okay. All right, I need to, is there a way I can eliminate the panel? Let's see.
When you're presenting.
Okay, got it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Dr. Susan Mruk. I am teaching the pharmacy technician program, MTC. I am still employed at Walgreens as a part-time pharmacist, very part-time right now since I just took this program over. But I'm happy to say that they've allowed me to stay on board. And so I am kind of here to talk to you about MTC. I'm happy that Walgreens is here also to support the Women's Resource Center. This is my last graduating class. They finished their program in the end of April, except for this center student right here. This is Tarryn, and she's actually one of the panelists today that you will hear from later in the program. I like to invite former graduated students back into the classroom to share their experiences in the real life field of pharmacy. So Tarryn actually came into the pharmacy, into the classroom and spoke to the students on sterile compounding. She taught them how to prepare sterile garbing, which means you get ready to prepare the products to go out into the communities and institutions. So it's a really nice aspect of our program. We're a really tight-knit group of students, and the students love to come back into the classroom to talk to the current students, and the current students, of course, love to have somebody new to come lecture to them. This video doesn't really work too well. It's kind of glitchy, but this was one of the videos. That was just a 30-second video for the pharmacy program that's on the website of Manatee Tech, manateetech.edu. So we're going to now just kind of touch upon some of the roles of a pharmacy technician. I'm going to first go into the community setting, because this is what most people are familiar with, of course. We have our community pharmacies, such as chain drugstores like Walgreens and CVS. Grocery stores are becoming a big component of having pharmacies within them. Publix is big in our community. There are Winn-Dixies. We talk about big box retailers, and they also have pharmacies, Walmart, Sam's, Costco. And independent pharmacies are ones that are independently owned by one owner or a small group of owners. They usually have a niche in the pharmacy that they attract customers through. What a pharmacy technician does in the community setting is they do help prepare medication orders. So this is frequently what people think, that pharmacists pharmacist staff, pharmacy technicians do. They count medications. They put the label on the medications. Why does it take so long? There's a lot more that goes into that. But the pharmacy technician is typically the one that's preparing those orders for the pharmacist to make the final check on. The pharmacy technicians in the community pharmacy also have a lot of face-to-face interactions with patients. They are typically the ones that greet the patients. They're the face of the pharmacy. So it's really important for the pharmacy technicians to have a professional attitude. They are responsible for taking in prescriptions. Most of the time now, prescriptions are electronically sent. So many times the patients won't be walking up to the pharmacy with those prescriptions in hand, but you still will have an occasional prescription being dropped off. You have patients walking into the pharmacy to refill prescriptions. For whatever reason, they're not calling them in advance. They're not using technology to refill their medications. They come in with an empty bottle, or maybe not even a bottle with a name on it. They may just say, I need my blood pressure medication filled, and the technician must be knowledgeable about which medication is for blood pressure. They also will perform data entry. What that means, they'll take the prescription orders that are coming into the pharmacy and type them out. So they have to understand medication abbreviations, the handwriting of the doctor, drug names, and doses. Processing insurance claims is another area that's really important to have knowledge about in the community pharmacy. You often are educating the patient on why their costs of medications are so high and what they can do to lower it. And lastly, in that face-to-face interaction, selling of prescriptions. So very important, it seems simple, a register transaction, but we have to make sure that the right patient gets the right medication. So very important step that the technician is involved in there. We also have phone calls that our technicians are performing within the pharmacy. Of course, if you've stood outside a retail pharmacy, you hear the phones are often ringing. Lots of patients calling to refill medications, check the status of the prescription, check the cost of the medications. Technicians are also performing outgoing calls in the pharmacy. They're calling to remind patients to pick up the prescriptions. Patients just get forgetful and they may not be completely out of their medications, but we want them to pick up their medication and remain adherent on it. There's medication adherence is a really important aspect of community pharmacy. If a patient's not taking their medication for high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, there can be severe outcomes. And pharmacy technicians are playing a key role in that function. It's called medication therapy management, and insurance companies are paying pharmacies to make sure that their patients are taking their medications correctly. So it's an exciting area that pharmacy technicians are really getting to use their clinical skills in this aspect of community pharmacy. The inventory of the pharmacy is a key component of pharmacy technicians' task as well. There's lots of money in pharmacy products. We want to make sure we have accurate counts so that what's on our shelf is accurate, so that if a patient needs it, it's available, and if the pharmacy is out of it, the system can place those orders for us. So frequently there's inventory counts that are done by the pharmacy technicians, ordering products that are out of stock, and when those deliveries come in, getting the products on the shelf efficiently. There's also times when there's recalls of drug products due to safety concerns. So the technicians are involved in looking for those lot numbers, the affected products, getting them off the shelf so that the patients in the pharmacy are not receiving any of those products. And outdated medications, the pharmacy technicians are making sure that the stock on hand is actually safe to dispense to the patient, and getting them medications that are close to being expired used up so that the pharmacy is not losing money. Big area of accuracy in the inventory management for the pharmacy. This is so exciting. So pharmacy technicians now are involved in being the person to deliver immunizations. With COVID, it was allowed under emergency use authorization for technicians to help deliver COVID vaccines and flu vaccines. But as of July of this year, next month, pharmacy technicians will be allowed to give any immunizations on the vaccine schedule. This does require additional training. It's not something you would get right away from your pharmacy technician program, but at MTC, it's actually, hopefully we'll have that established within the next year. Really exciting opportunity that being one-on-one with a patient is an invaluable investment of your time. They really look to a pharmacy technician as their healthcare professional at that point. So these are a couple of pictures of the MTC pharmacy that simulates a retail pharmacy. We have a live prescription data processing software. So we can scan in a prescription, the technician can type out the prescription, and it's verified for accuracy. A label is actually generated, and we fill and put the medication in the bottle. We have a register system where we can practice selling those prescriptions. We role play different customer interactions because you don't always have nice people that walk up to the pharmacy register. So we role play difficult customer interactions. We have pharmacy shelves that we utilize inventory management. The students design how they want their pharmacy laid out, where they want their products. They design or they incorporate the delivery of new products into the pharmacy shelves, and also work on pulling outdated or recalled medications as well. We do fun activities. So this is where we have filling competitions to see who can fill the fastest and the most accurate. We oftentimes will incorporate music and talking in the background because you do have to multitask. Many times you may be phone as you're counting, or somebody may be asking you where the bathroom is. So these functions you're not doing quiet. So you have to be accurate yet multitask. So we have filling competitions where the technicians work quickly without error, and then the other technicians will check their work. Here are the students learning about insulin therapy. So we learn how to draw up insulin into a syringe, how to inject that syringe. There's also insulin pens that are utilized. Those are a different way of delivering them. So being a diabetic, there's a large majority of the patients that come into community pharmacy have diabetes as a health condition. So it's really important to understand what they're going through injecting their medications and what it takes to deliver those doses. So a pharmacy technician now, we're going to look at what they do in a hospital setting. These are some of our local hospitals. We have pictures of Manatee, Sarasota, Blake Hospital, and Lakewood Ranch. All of these hospitals we have academic affiliations with. During the course at MTC, you will be having the opportunity to have rotations at the hospital setting. We also have academic affiliations with various community pharmacies as well. Walgreens has many sites available for students to work at, or do classwork in during their time at MTC. We have MCR pharmacy. We also have some independent pharmacies where you get some specialized training on compounding, and they're expanding. The academic affiliations are expanding. You'll have 2 times during your school that you'll have rotation experiences. So these are some of the sites that you can visit during your school. So in a hospital setting, the technician is involved also in inventory management, and this is usually through an automated drug cabinet, the ADC. And Pyxis is one of the brands that's utilized. All of the local hospital pharmacies use the Pyxis. This is a picture of it. This medication is managed within these drawers, and they have little cubies in here. Technicians stock these on a daily basis and sometimes even hourly basis, depending on the needs of the nursing units. So these units are at nursing units, and patients' orders are programmed into the computer system so that when a nurse needs it, they scan the patient's barcode and the medication that's needed, and only the one cubie opens up for that to be dispensed to the patient. So that is one of the functions, is that the pharmacy technician is stocking these so that they're available for the nurses when they need them. There's also phone calls that happen within the hospital. However, you're not usually interacting with patients. It's usually nurses who are calling to check the status of an order that hasn't reached their unit yet. Orders come in 24/7 at the hospital, and many times they're not at the medications are not in the nursing units. So they'll be calling to see, where is that order? I need this medication within the next hour. Compounded medications also have to be made within the hospital setting, so sometimes those take extra time. The pharmacy technician is making those runner to the nursing units so that as those orders come in, they will deliver those medications to the nursing units so that the patient can get their dose as soon as it's needed. In the back here, you'll see that there's, this is what a pharmacy inventory shelf looks like in the hospital setting. It's mostly unit dose packaging. Due to shortages, many medications now are unavailable to come in unit dose packaging. So the technicians in the hospital are actually involved in making these unit dose packagings as well. Sterile compounding is where a sterile product is injected. So it's usually given by intravenous route or an IM or subcutaneous injection. It's very important that those products are prepared to have no microorganisms that can contaminate them. The sterility of that product is utmost importance. This is a hood that has clean air, HEPA filtered airflow coming through it. The technician goes through that sterile garbing process where they hand wash, they scrub their surfaces of their body, they take new gowns, sterile gloves, hair nets, foot guards. The masks are all required prior to even entering the room. I think Tarryn will probably talk to you about that role in her job, and she does this all day. Very exciting, very critical area of pharmacy technician work. They usually work alone because the clean room, you can't go in and out of the clean room without being sterilely prepared. So it's a really quiet setting if you like that area. This is a quick video one of my students made of them working within the hood. We have two hoods in the pharmacy classroom. We have the vertical flow hood, which the clean air goes across down from above. And then this is a horizontal hood. So the clean air, the HEPA filter is coming from in front of you. Difference in techniques and how you work in those areas. So we learn about how you must work to minimize contamination of your product. And this is an example. I have my students make videos of their work so that they can create a portfolio of their work as they have an electronic portfolio at the end of class so that they can share those with the jobs that they're applying with. A banana bag is just an example of one of the products that we practice. Real life banana bags are usually have multiple ingredients that we have to inject into an IV bag for delivery to the patient. Usually it's some vitamins, minerals that go into there, usually used to treat dehydration, has a characteristic yellow color. So the students in this lab, they get to practice calculating doses of each one of these ingredients, drawing them up into the syringe with the correct amount, and sterilely injecting them into the bag. So let's look a little bit about the specialty areas, some of the more unique settings of a pharmacy technician. This is some unit dose or long-term care pharmacies. So these are products that are prepared to give nursing homes, assisted living facilities. These have to be prepared in either unit dose or patient bubble packing so that the doses can be managed by the nursing staff for the individual patients through the unit dose system. This is a machine that the pharmacy staff would utilize to take bulk tablets and put them into unit dose products. This is the outcome of it from the other side. I have a video of my student doing that as well. So this is the punch cards, bubble packs, blister packs, where a dose is put into each bubble, and those are given for a patient. So they're labeled for one patient for that dose. This is a video of my unit dose machine in the lab where we put in the information for the lot number, expiration date. We load the machine. And then those tablets actually drop down into these blister packs, and they're barcoded with the information that the technician just typed into the computer system. And those unit dose packaging are delivered again to the nursing home units. So that's another example of the lab experience in the classroom. Here's another example of the blister bubble packing. And we have a lot of labs with non-sterile compounding. So non-sterile, these are not being injected. They're usually used topically or tablets or capsules. We practice a lot of this in the classroom setting. Here's where we've compounded an ointment. Those will go into either jars or tubes to be given to the patient. You have to take bulk chemicals or triturate some tablets, and you make them into powder form, and then you incorporate them into a base. We also take multiple ingredients in a powder form and make them into capsules. We have these capsule making machines that we can take the powder of medications and put them into capsules. Those are done, these compounded products are done for anything that is not available commercially. So we would not be making aspirin 325 milligrams, but we may have aspirin 275 milligrams, unique doses for a patient-specific prescription order. This is where we would make tablets. So there's an example of making the powder in a very small and incorporating it into a tablet form. Nuclear pharmacy, we do have a nuclear pharmacy in our community. Nuclear pharmacy is where you take radioactive materials, and they're often used to diagnose or treat certain diseases. It's a unique area of pharmacy. It is in our community though, so we do learn about it. They are actively hiring. They do work very safely, lots of OSHA requirements built into this practice, of course, to make sure that the employees are kept safe. So lots of exciting areas out there for pharmacy technicians. I hope you're excited and ready to see what it takes. You will be required to obtain a license by the Florida Board of Pharmacy. You're registered as a pharmacy technician. In order to do that, you complete a board-approved training program. Many different options of board-approved training programs. MTC is one of many. Walgreens has a board-approved training program that you'll hear about. You also have a minimum age of 17 years of age, and that's it. You apply to the board, you get your license. You will be then required to maintain a CE. Your license is good for 2 years, and you have to complete CE programs to maintain that license. CE is continuing education. So those are programs that help you you're actively learning in your profession. At that point, you have PhD as your title. This is a breakdown of Manatee Technical College's training program. We are built within the public school system. We are approved through the Florida Department of Education. So we have specific curriculum that we have to follow. We have 1,050 hours total. It's approximately a 10-month program. These are the courses that you would take. Each of these courses have different requirements built into them. So at the end of these courses, you would apply to the Board of Pharmacy and obtain your license. What do we learn in class besides all the labs? Top 200 drugs are an important component of a pharmacy technician's knowledge. We learned about the top 200 drugs, their brand name, generic name, their drug class, what are they used? Are they a blood pressure or diabetes medication, antidepressant, common doses and side effects and interactions? We have fun learning these. So this is an example of what drug am I? 20 questions to figure out which medication is on my head. It's a lot to memorize. So we do have Quizlets, we have Jeopardy games. We have fun learning them. You come out with a lot of knowledge about medications that really you should be excited about. And many of these students end up wanting to go to pharmacy school. In fact, this student right here is going to be starting pharmacy school in the fall. What else will you learn? So unfortunately, we do have to learn math. Most people hate math. I love math. I make it fun. So I had one student who really had a block on math, and she was so proud at the end of her class because she mastered it. So we work hard on math skills, medical terminology and abbreviations. Those prescriptions that you look at and think they're hieroglyphics, you learn to read them. You learn what those abbreviations are and what they mean. You also learn about dangerous abbreviations and how not to use them. Communication skills are important, very important in any aspect of pharmacy. We are really nonverbal communication skills are just as important as verbal communication skills. So we practice different scenarios all throughout the class. It's not just a one and done. We're working continuously on developing those communication skills so that you can be a very professional pharmacy technician in the field. Working as a team is really stressed as well. I know from a pharmacist standpoint, I have to depend on my technician team. I cannot do my job as a pharmacist without my technicians, and they also can't do their job as a technician without the pharmacist. So we learn to co-work together, utilize each other's skills. We define those out within the classroom. Some people may be really good at math. Some people may be really good at memorization. So we help each other out throughout the class. Prevention of medical errors, huge area for pharmacists, pharmacy technician teams. We identify areas where medication errors can occur. We learn about prevention tools and how you can take those into real life to make it a learning experience. And then you also learn about common diseases. So you can't really learn about the medications without learning about the diseases that they treat. So you do come out with a basic understanding of common disease states as well. We have all throughout the class employment resources that we work on. From day one, we start resume building. We work with a platform called My Career Shines. This is where you would upload your videos to create an online portfolio. You add your experiences. that you obtain throughout class. You do get CPR certified. So all those throughout class, we're constantly building your resumes and that online portfolio. At the end of your class, we do have a lot of interview skills or practice. We have some of our academic affiliations or some of the pharmacists who serve as preceptors come in and practice interview skills, mock interviews. And of course, your externship opportunities at the site help to prepare you for those real life pharmacies as well. Historically, from the last 2 years, we've got 93% of our graduates are actually working in the field. Very good numbers. And as a part of your class, you also have the opportunity to obtain additional certifications. The Pharmacy Technician Certification Board is the most common one that is recognized in the pharmacy community. That's abbreviated PTCB. We are a recognized education training program at MTC for PTCB training. You have to take an exam at the end of the course. It's a computer-based exam, 90 multiple questions. It is timed. So we prepare for that throughout the class year to get you ready for that. The other one that's starting to become recognized is the National Healthcare Association. This is the ACCEPT exam. You will take both of these as part of your course at MTC. So you have the opportunity to become certified under one or both of these exams. If you were to pass one of these programs, then you become a certified pharmacy technician. So you're not just a pharmacy technician, you have the C in front of you. So as you're meeting people in the community and you see CPht, that means that technician's taken that extra step to become a certified technician. This often offers an increase in pay and opportunity to advance in your career. So this is the website of how to apply, manateetech.edu. Apply now. It's in the career and technical programs. I think it's the second one down. Quick application. I know Amy's going to talk to you a little bit more about that. There is also financial aid available through Manatee Technical College as well. And we have student services. This information will be shared with you after the program. And so you don't have to jot anything down right now, but this is our main campus, is the student services that was on main campus on State Road 70. The pharmacy technician program and allied health program is actually our East Campus, which is off of Lakewood Ranch Boulevard, just in front of Lakewood Ranch High School. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. I'm very excited to share the pharmacy technician program, and I hope you're excited to jump in and join.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. M. All right, so I'm going to move kind of quickly here. We're running over a little bit on time. But no, you're okay. It was all really great information. We don't have any questions yet, so if we run over, we don't, we're okay taking some time from Q&A. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Amy. I'm going to share my screen. She's going to talk about a little bit about the admissions process at MTC. Amy, all yours.
Thank you. And thank you, Dr. M, for that summary that goes right into what I'm going to spend just a little bit of time talking to you guys about. Basically, this handout is just a short handout, which I'm happy that they're providing it at the end, because I've included some of those links that make them clickable for you to just explore after the webinar is over later on. But just to kind of tell you a little bit about how to get going. First, it's important to know we are a career prep college. So that makes us a little different from a community college or a university, because we are actually grooming you to be prepared for your career. And that's really important because that is the end goal. And that's how all of us that are on this panel, we work together. So it becomes a win-win for everybody. Okay, Dr. M wants you to graduate the program. Walgreens wants you to be employed with them. CareerSource is there to help you financially and support you throughout the time at your program as well. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. So that's really great. Our pharmacy technician program only has one start date a year because it runs about 10 months. Our fall term, I put the date there. That date does change maybe between like a day or two. But typically this year we're starting on August 8th. Career prep programs are driven by enrollment. So although that you will see we offer 2 full-time options, we let the enrollment, we let the interest of our students drive that. So if we have many of our students wanting to do a hybrid because it gives them flexibility to have like a Monday and Friday working from home, or maybe because they're employed, they have that opportunity. So we will let the enrollment numbers drive us to say our students really want to be coming here 3 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 with online remote days, or they want to be here every day, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3. Regardless of the option, your instructor is available to you all 5 days of the week. So just because you see hybrid doesn't mean that Dr. M disappears. It means she's here with me every day. Okay, there's the address to our East Campus. So if you GPSed it, just to know exactly where Dr. M mentioned, we are off of Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. You will, as you've seen in some of the pictures that were shared with you prior, we're training you for the career. So you will be in a uniform attire. You find out what your uniform attire is based on if you are accepted into the program. So how do you get admitted? How do you get accepted to MTC? Well, like all other colleges out there, you have to submit an online application. So the online application is probably only going to take you about 15, 20 minutes. It's not long at all. But the most important thing about putting in your application is making sure your data is correct. Okay, so making sure that what you're putting in is what we're going to receive. And your email is really critical in that process, is because colleges, that's how we communicate now, is through electronic email. So when you submit that online application, it takes about 1 to 2 business days to hear back from MTC by telling you, hi, Miss Amy, thank you for your application. Here is your information on how to log in and access what's required. And we call that the to-do list. So the to-do list basically tells you everything on that list you have to turn in to be accepted into the pharmacy technician program. You'll turn your documents in through student services, which Dr. M highlighted. And then all completed applications are reviewed by our admissions committee on a first come, first served basis. So I always tell students, we at MTC cannot predict how fast a student's going to move through our process. We have students that will complete that to-do list in 1 week. I've seen it as short as a couple of days. It just depends on how driven they are to get into the program. Okay, and then some can take longer. So we review them applications on a first come, first served basis. And then after that, you are admitted into the program, and then you will actually self-enroll yourself into your classes, which again, when we communicate with you via email, we explain to you a step-by-step process on how to enroll yourself. I have included in the handout our contact information for student services that can help you with application and login help. My direct contact information is there as well, along with our allied health secretary, who is a great support system also. Now, I won't go into too much detail, which is why I wanted to include that clickable link for financial aid. But I do want to highlight that financial aid here at MTC is definitely different. We get a lot of calls about student loans. We do not have a student loan program here at MTC. So the good news for you as a student here is that you leave debt free. That's what we love, right? No debt. So our students usually are paying by way of financial aid by completing a financial aid application. They can receive internal scholarships. They can receive external scholarships as well. But in that link, please make sure you do visit that webpage later, because we've laid it out so that our students know exactly what they have to do in order to secure these financial resources. I mean, and it's laid out from step 1, step 2. We even advertise CareerSource Suncoast. So there's all these different ways that you can pay, and you do pay as you go. So I like to, highlight that, because not all tuition is collected up front. So we need to make sure our students are academically passing as they're moving through those sections that Dr. M shared with you. And we also make sure that they're paying by the way that they're moving through the program as well. Okay. I did list the in-state tuition rates as well as out-of-state. What you will see advertised on our website, though, keep in mind that that program costs there about $4,500. That's based on you being an in-state Florida resident. If you wanted to have an idea of what it would cost as an out-of-state student, you would basically triple that cost of attendance. So that's just kind of a brief handout I wanted to go through. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and hopefully we'll get to them at the end. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy. Perfect. So we are going to turn it over to Ginger at CareerSource Suncoast.
Thank you. Okay, so let me try this again. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, because I'm not the technical person here. But my name is Ginger Swanson. I am the person who hands out money. I have the best job ever. So I am a grant coordinator here at CareerSource, and I want to tell you a little bit about the grant, but I want to mainly tell you about the scholarship, because if you can't get the scholarship, you can probably get the grant. Okay, so what we do here for the scholarship, it's open for pharmacy technician. Now I'm going to say that the new list for 22-23 hasn't been approved yet. The timing is bad because it's approved tomorrow, but I just got off the phone with my director, and he said it's like 99% clear that pharmacy technician will be on the approved list for next year. So we're good. So the scholarship can offer $7,500 a year. So since your program is 10 months long and $4,500, you're covered. If you get the scholarship, then there you go. You don't have to pay for anything else. It pays for books and the tuition costs. So like I was saying before, if you are employed, let's go with the scholarship. If you're unemployed, I'm gonna talk to you about the grant. Mainly what that is to be eligible for the scholarship, you need to be a resident of Sarasota or Manatee counties, meet that U.S. citizenship requirement, or hold the permanent resident card in the United States. You're going to provide just a few documents for proof. So we have Social Security card, your driver's license, which would cover your address and your date of birth. You got that income or employment status, your income status, family size. These are easy things that you have in your house for proof. And like I was saying, if you are not employed, let's go the grant route. There's a little bit extra benefit for going the grant route. And of course, you don't have to prove that employment status. So yeah, let's make life easy. Okay, so the process here that you have to do is complete a full registration on employflorida.com. That is how we communicate with the application. That's how we communicate with the grant, with our funds, with the scholarship funds, whatever it is. So you need to apply on employflorida.com. And then you go to our website, which is careersourcesuncoast.com/careers/scholarship. That is a very simple form to fill out, 5 minutes max. Just your contact information, what program you want to go into. And if you are eligible for the scholarship, a career coach will be in touch with you within 3 to 5 days. That is how you're going to apply to get scholarship information. If you want the grant, if you're unemployed, please contact me directly and I'll give you that information in a second. So what are we looking for? Once you get the grant and now you start school, what do? You don't have to pay anything back, but we require 4 things. First is monthly contact. So just once a month, you just talk to your career coach. School's going great. I need this or that, whatever it is. Quarterly grades. So whenever they're posted on the portal, just snapshot that and send it over to your career coach. At the end, we need a picture of your certificate of completion. So what that does is we're letting the government know, yes, your investment that you made in this person, monthly, quarterly, at the end, they've done great. Now they've started a new job. Once we get that information, we close your account. And then for 4 times in the next 12 months, that your career coach will call you or email you and just say, hey, can you send me a picture of a current pay stub? It's so simple. That shows them that you are able to retain a job for at least a year. After that, there's no more contact that we need to do on a regular basis, but we're still here for you if you need anything, resume help, interview help, etc. So there are a couple of locations that you can come use the computers or fax machine, etc. But for the scholarship information, again, go to our website, CareerSourceSuncoast.com/careers/scholarship. Or if you're unemployed, please call me directly, contact me by phone or email, and we can talk about the what you need to do for the grant. And that's really all I have. So thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ginger.
Yes, thank you.
All right. And I'm going to turn it over now to Chris and Leah at Walgreens. And just Chris, Leah, and also Tarryn, don't worry about time. We can go past 1 o'clock. I don't want you guys to have to rush through anything. So don't even think about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So when you think of Walgreens, first of all, I'm very happy to be here and able to represent such an amazing company. I know that Susan, our Miss M or Dr. M, gave a very good overview as to how the community retail setting or how your experience in her course will translate into the retail setting. However, one of the things that I like to talk about is what Walgreens really is. So when you think of Walgreens, you think of a pharmacy setting, you think of a retail setting, you think of us on every corner, which I love. But really what's inspiring is from the very top of our company, we really invest in our team members as well as we look towards our diversity and inclusion. So over the past couple of years, you may have seen it in the news, we actually got a new CEO. And her name is Roz Brewer. And she is one of the inspirations that we use a lot of times because she really entails everything that we look for out of all of our team members in Walgreens, as well as upholding the Walgreens creed, as well as everything that Charles Walgreens did when he created our pharmacies in 1901. But I love this quote. It's one of the quotes that Roz actually had stated when she was the COO of the Starbucks Corporation. And it's, I want young girls to realize that the possibilities are big. They can be race car drivers, they can be astronauts, or they can be CEOs. So really, if you think about it, the head of our company is really invested in, thinking about the larger picture. Anybody can do anything, and it's an inspiration. And that's the mentality that we have with every team member in our stores. The next slide. So when you think about inclusion and everything that we have to offer, one of the things that I also love about Roz is that, when she is shaping our company and bringing everything into light for us, it's always at the forefront of what she does. She's thinking in terms of diversity and inclusion and how we can think differently. So in 2015, as the CEO of Sam's Club, Brewer was interviewed on CNN by Poppy Harlow. During the interview, Brewer explained that diversity was a priority of hers. When speaking about diversity, she said, "I demand it of my team, and that every now and then you have to nudge your partners. You have to speak up and speak out. And I try to use my platform for that. I try to set an example." Brewer described a specific incident when she was meeting with a supplier and she recollects the entire other side of the table was Caucasian male. That was interesting. Brewer chose not to address the lack of diversity when meeting with the suppliers, but she said she was going to make a call to the supplier. In support of Brewer's statement, Doug McMillan, Walmart's president and CEO, subsequently wrote in a statement, "For years, we have asked our suppliers to prioritize the talent and diversity of their sales team calling on our company. Roz was simply trying to reiterate that we believe diverse and inclusive team make for a stronger business. That's all there is to it, and I support that important ideal." So I love this quote. I love this article because it shows that here at Walgreens, we're nothing without diversity. We're nothing without all the difference of opinions, all the individuality that our team members bring to us. So everybody has a different opinion. Our customer service associates, our CEO, our store leaders, our pharmacists, our technicians, everybody has a different value, a different positive outlook on everything. And it's only from all of us that we're able to create what Walgreens is. So now we know where Walgreens is currently, but where did we start? So our slogan, and I'm sure many of you have heard of this, is trusted since 1901. And trusted since 1901 means that our first pharmacy was actually opened in 1901. So when you think about longevity, you can't get much better than over 100 years of retail experience as being in a drugstore. So Walgreens has been around since the very first Walgreens in 1901 was opened outside of Chicago, Illinois by Charles Walgreens. And in that first Walgreens, he created our vision and our purpose, which is something that Roz still holds true today. So our vision at Walgreens is to be America's most loved pharmacy-led health, well-being, and beauty company. Our purpose is to champion the health and well-being of every community in America. So as a team member with Walgreens, what we're really looking for are, do you have that passion to give back to the community? Do you have that drive to do what is right, to help everybody through pharmacy-led health, well-being, and beauty? Think about that. Even in the pharmacy, if you were to go through the pharmacy and become a pharmacy technician, you're still having an impact on people's lives through beauty. We have an amazing partnership with oncology departments where we work one-on-one. We call it Feel More Like You. Our pharmacy technicians work with our beauty advisors in our stores and really upskill everybody in our store. So whatever your definition of feeling better and feeling more like you is, Walgreens is here to support you. So at Walgreens, we have an amazing pipeline of success and career development. So one of the things that we always explain to all of our team members whenever they're hired through every interview process is that whatever you're applying for today means that you could be wherever you want to go in the company. So oftentimes we tell our team members who are applying for a customer service associate that you could be the CEO if you want to. Your drive is there, we can get you there. So Walgreens is a pay-for-performance company, and we believe in developing our talent from within and also valuing the diverse perspectives of those from the outside. So one of the things that we do is, we can hire from our outside resources, which is fantastic, but we also believe in developing our team from within. So this right here is a really great outline of our career paths at Walgreens. So maybe you're going to school with Dr. M and you want to get your feet wet by coming in as just maybe a customer service associate, or maybe you want to come in as what we call as a healthcare customer service associate or a designated hitter. That is actually an amazing career path. It actually entails working on the front end as well as working in our pharmacy. Or you could be a pharmacy technician or a certified pharmacy technician. The great thing about Walgreens is that as you're working with us here in our pharmacies, we're paying you to also get your pharmacy license. So a lot of times, people are thinking, well, gosh, I need to have my degree in order to go into the pharmacy. That's not true with Walgreens. Walgreens is actually an accredited company where we actually can train you as you're working in our stores and getting that on the job experience. So it's an amazing company. It's an amazing program that we have here. We actually have a technician training program where we work very closely with you for the first month. And in that first month, it's 160 hours. And as you're working, we get you your Florida State license. After that, for the next few months, we will train you to get you your PTCB certification. Each time that we do that, as Dr. M had mentioned earlier, it does actually with Walgreens entail a pay increase as well. And again, the more driven you are, the more responsibility, more career development that we have for you. So from a senior certified or from a certified technician, you can take on added responsibility in our pharmacy. You can take on different initiatives. You can become a senior certified pharmacy technician. After that, if you want to, we have a new position at Walgreens, something that no other company really has. And it's called our pharmacy operation manager. That's also our RXOM position. That is an amazing position, guys. That is actually a elevated technician role that is in charge of all the key performance indicators in our pharmacy. They're in charge of behaviors. They're in charge of coaching. They're in charge of development. They're in charge of bringing on new talent. That's an amazing role as a technician. So, from there, guess what? You're now eligible. You could also become a store manager from that position. So just because, if you think about it, you have a passion for pharmacy. Myself as a store manager with Walgreens, I have a passion for pharmacy, and that's where I am today. We have this amazing mentality at Walgreens where we believe in a one box mentality. So how much better would it be if your store managers were also pharmacy technicians? Well, guess what? Walgreens does that. As a Walgreens store manager, I'm actually also a certified pharmacy technician. So that means I am state licensed as well as nationally certified to work in the pharmacy. So, the career paths are endless. And this actually cuts it off, but from there, the path is wherever you want it to go. You can go to district manager, our director of pharmacy retail and operations, or corporate. The career paths are endless. And one of my favorite things that I like to tell everybody is Walgreens is actually just Walgreens, but it's also Walgreens Boots Alliance. So if you're looking on our website, you'll see that our full title is actually Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA, and that's because we have international jobs. We actually have purchased the Boots Foundation over in the UK, as well as Alliance RX, which makes us international. So when you think of where you want to go, what does your career path look like? Walgreens can get you there, and we'll get you there as quickly as you want to go. So then the next slide is what positions are available. So back to the pipeline that we have in our stores, you could start as a customer service associate, or you could be a pharmacy customer care associate, or a pharmacy technician, or a certified pharmacy technician. All of these positions are available to you if you go to jobs.walgreens.com/pharmacy or just jobs@walgreens.com. All of these positions are available on there, and you can find whichever one is most convenient for you, as well as where your level of comfort is. We always want you to come in, be open and honest with us in an interview, and we'll be open and honest with you as well. So we'll gauge where your interest is. We'll ask you, are you familiar with the pharmacy? And we'll put you in the training program as it becomes applicable. It's just absolutely amazing. And again, so the area that we're representing here today is actually from Bradenton down to Marco Island. So if you think about it, Walgreens is everywhere. So just because we're representing these stores, there are Walgreens everywhere north of Bradenton as well. So just because you may not find a position that you're looking for today just on those sections, you're able to find a position anywhere that you may think of. And now I will pass it over to Leah Rekas.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. Really, I wanted to just first introduce myself. My name is Leah Rekas, and I support all the Sarasota stores as a district manager for pharmacy and retail operations in Florida. So, we've had an amazing webinar today. We've learned so much about different training programs and education and support But really what I wanted to talk about today for Walgreens is some of our outside of the store support groups and advocacies that we have within our company. So we have a business resource group, or what we call BRGs, that we support development and intentional development of female leaders and women. I actually am part of the committee for our region, which incorporates Florida and Puerto Rico, but I also help lead gender equity for Walgreens and WBA. And I'm very passionate about that because sometimes we have to give different opportunities to different people or bring the opportunities to them. And what I loved hearing today about the entire webinar is so many different people on this call are all focused on the same thing, helping you become part of this program, helping develop you as a person, as a leader, as a technician, right? And what this group does is take that once you've become a technician, once you've joined an organization like Walgreens, and then it just jumpstarts your career. So when you think about what our group is, it's an employee-led group. And what we typically have in common is pharmacy experience, right? I'm a technician myself. I started in the stores, but I became very passionate about pharmacy and development. And I joined this group. And on this group, there are different individuals and female leaders from Arkansas to Florida to Alaska. And we all have certain things in common, and we support each other. We support each other's development. We support each other's training and career aspirations. But ultimately, like when we think about our vision as our Women of Walgreens group, which is our subset, we want to be that global community where every woman in Walgreens can reach their full potential. And sometimes that means our career potential, and sometimes that means our personal potential. And I am so proud to be part of this program to help drive partnerships, personal connections, and an engaged workforce, because truly it just begins with the training, and then that just starts your career. So when you think about how to get involved, it starts with you. Chris said it perfectly. It's as far as you want to go with Walgreens, whether we want to stay in the technician aspect or go continue on and learn and grow in other positions. But it starts with day one. When you join Walgreens, you're automatically able to join this group, which provides additional support and resources for you to continue growing and go as far as you truly want to go. I'm very proud of the different organizations we have, and it's more than just a job, right? There's so much more that we can connect to and say, hey, I want to join one of the book clubs that we have for Women of Walgreens. We have mental health support. We have different activities and webinars every single month. So really we can sign up for those things, we can join those things, and we can provide support. And it's all employee-led. And for me, I think one of my passions is development, and I'm very excited about these type of opportunities that we provide to our team members. So I just wanted to thank everyone on this webinar, and thank you, Chris, for sharing some of the great aspects that Walgreens has. So I will pass it over to you, Brent, and thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you both for that great information. And last but not least, we're going to turn it over to Tarryn, who's going to tell us a little bit about her experience through the program at MTC and as a pharmacy technician.
Thank you, Brent. Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. So I think it was previously mentioned, I am a certified pharmacy technician at a sterile compounding pharmacy here in Sarasota. I actually saw MTC when I was on a short trip here to Florida, and I saw the campus. I thought it was beautiful. I saw the palm trees, and I'm like, I need to check that out. And one of my family members is a pharmacist, so she recommended that I check out the pharmacy technician program. Really from the beginning, the admissions, the to-do list that Amy was mentioning, everything was really well laid out and very simple. And when I first signed up for school, I had been out of school for 10 years. So for me, it was there was a little anxiety surrounding, applying and doing something I haven't done in so long. But everyone at MTC made it so easy, and they really meet you at your level. And Susan had mentioned the math portion. I was a little nervous about that starting, being out of school for so long, but again, they just meet you where you're at. provide you with the resources. They go at your pace. In the classrooms, because they're so small, you're able to kind of build a really strong, almost like a family bond, but a really strong team bond with the other students, and you help each other. You know, if somebody's lacking in one area, everybody kind of pitches in and you work together, and that really made me feel great, and provided me with a lot of confidence as we went out onto our different experiences with the long-term care pharmacies, the retail pharmacy, the hospital. It just gave me that extra boost when we were out there to be able to feel confident that what I was learning in the classroom was going to be easily applicable in all the different settings. And I actually worked at Walgreens while I was going to school. So it's just so great to see everybody in all the different aspects, because everybody sort of touched my life and was able to provide me with the foundation I needed to land in the career that I'm in now. And I love it. I love sterile compounding. I wasn't necessarily a huge people person, but I love being able to help people sort of in a singular individual role, and, you know, customize medications to help patients and in the surrounding areas. So it's been really great for me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for Tarryn for, sharing your experience and what that looked like. And I think it was really great to hear, as Dr. M pointed out, there's many sort of roles within as a pharmacy technician, right? Whether you're in a retail pharmacy, a hospital setting, compounding, that it really can fit, the needs of most people, or, what they're looking for in terms of work. So I want to thank everyone for joining today, especially our panelists. Thank you all so much for your time, for your valuable insights and information. I hope all of our attendees found this insightful and maybe are excited to explore the program that MTC offers. So thank you so much, everybody. And then last reminder, as soon as I end the webinar, a survey will pop up. We really appreciate your feedback. And I will send out a recording and all the materials and everything that was shared today to everyone within 24 to 48 hours. So with that said, I hope everyone has a great rest of your Wednesday, and take care, everyone. Bye.